The world didn't make him evil. It taught him survival, looked like cruelty. The club was dark, a thumping pulse of music vibrating through the floor. Neon lights sliced across faces, but most of them were shadows, blurred and unimportant. Taeyoung stepped inside, dressed in a black suit that made him look untouchable, untethered, someone who owned the room without even trying. His eyes scanned the crowd. Not people, not conversations, only targets, deals, the scent of danger lingering in the air. Then he saw him. A boy sitting alone in the corner, head slightly lowered, eyes sharp and calculating under the dim light. Most people thought he looked innocent, fragile almost, a delicate face that didn't belong here. But Taeyoung knew better. The way the boy's gaze lingered on a man across the room, the subtle shift in his posture, the calmness in the way he held himself, it was all wrong. Dangerous. Jungkook didn't notice Taeyoung at first. He was busy, watching, waiting, measuring his next target like a predator playing with its prey. His lips curved into a small, almost imperceptible smile. The man in the other corner had no idea what was coming. Taeyoung felt it immediately. A pulse, a thrill that ran down his spine. He wasn't just curious, no, he was intrigued. That boy didn't belong to the world of ordinary humans. He belonged to chaos. Step by step, Taeyoung moved closer, weaving through bodies, the thumping music masking his approach. Jungkook's eyes flicked up briefly, meeting Taeyoung's for a second, but it wasn't recognition. Just another assessment, another calculation. Yet something about the stranger's aura made him pause, made him lean back slightly, curious but cautious. The air between them was electric, heavy, almost dangerous. Neither of them spoke, but the tension was deafening. One wrong move, one glance, and this quiet dance could explode into something neither had ever felt before. Taeyoung finally stopped a few steps away, just out of reach, letting the music, the crowd, and the shadows do the talking. Jungkook's hand twitched near his pocket. Taeyoung noticed, of course, and his lips twitched into a ghost of a smile. It was a first meeting without words, but already both knew. This was not a game for the weak. Taeyoung didn't move closer. Not yet. He allowed himself to get busy with the reason he came. The deal waiting in the back, the signatures to be signed, the movements that needed his presence. Yet, even as he nodded, whispered, and negotiated, his eyes never left Jungkook. The boy in the corner, so calm, so precise, wasn't looking at him. No, his gaze was fixed on his target across the room. Every twitch of his finger, every shift in weight, every flicker in his expression told a story only someone like Taehyung could read. Dangerous, cold, meticulous. Don't forget to like and share the stories. And Kai leaned against the bar for a moment, casually, but the casualness was a lie. Every muscle in his body was alert, every instinct humming. The way Jungkook's eyes darted, the way he analyzed his target, it was familiar, in a way Tae couldn't quite place. Minutes passed. The music throbbed. Drinks were poured, deals were made. And yet a silent game continued across the room, invisible to everyone but the two of them. Jungkook's target finally moved, unaware of the unseen eyes tracking him. Jungkook tilted his head slightly, a soft, almost innocent hum escaping his lips, pretending to sip a drink, all while calculating the perfect moment. Tae's lips twitched, not quite a smile, not quite a frown. Amusement? Intrigue? Perhaps both. This boy was unlike anyone he'd ever encountered. Calm yet lethal, quiet yet screaming danger in every subtle movement. Finally, the meeting ended. Tae straightened, thanked the people he came with, but his eyes didn't leave Jungkook. He didn't need to. The boy had noticed him now. Not fully, but the faint shift, the small acknowledgement, was enough to make Tae's heartbeat quicken. Jungkook finally allowed himself to glance up fully, meeting Tae's gaze for the briefest moment. Neither spoke. No words were needed. The tension, the danger, the curiosity, it said everything. And then, as if on instinct, Tae turned, slipping out of the crowd, already planning his next move. But one thing was certain, the boy in the corner wasn't going anywhere from his thoughts. The music and chatter in the club had barely settled when a piercing scream cut through the air, a sound so raw, so full of horror, it made everyone freeze. A girl in the corner had just witnessed a man collapse in a horrific way, blood spraying, limbs twitching unnaturally, his eyes wide with terror. She clutched her mouth, her body shaking as she let out another scream. Jungkook was already moving, slipping through the crowd as if nothing had happened. Calm, precise, his target taken care of, his expression unreadable. He looked around, eyes calculating for any witnesses, and then he heard the soft, slow step behind him. Taeyoung. He emerged from the shadows, leaning casually against the wall, a smirk tugging at his lips. His eyes glinted with amusement as though he'd known all along what had just happened. Kook didn't flinch, didn't turn. He simply shrugged and started walking away. Don't you feel fear while doing that, hun? Taeyoung's voice was soft, teasing, yet there was a dangerous edge beneath it. What if someone sees? You could be doomed. Jungkook finally looked at him, tilting his head innocently, lips curving into that signature soft smile. What are you saying? I didn't do anything. I'm an innocent boy. Innocent, fragile, perfectly harmless. Taeyoung's laughter echoed quietly against the walls of the club, low and rumbling, full of intrigue. He stepped closer, letting the sound brush against Jungkook's back. Innocent, huh? His eyes lingered, scanning every subtle movement, every imperceptible twitch of the boy's fingers. Sure, an innocent psycho, right? Jungkook just smiled as if nothing had happened and began walking away again. The very air seemed to hum around him, innocent on the surface, but deadly underneath. Taeyoung felt the thrill in his chest, a mix of amusement and something darker. Fascination. For the first time that night, the hunter realized he might have met someone even more dangerous than himself. Why you took me? His lips curved again, dark, knowing. Not justice, not curiosity. He straightened, eyes cold. You wanted to taste me. Silence slammed into the room. Taeyoung laughed. Not loud, not amused. Low, deep, thrilled. Oh, he murmured, stepping closer until there was barely an inch between them. So the innocent boy finally died. Jungkook tilted his head, eyes glittering. No, baby. He never existed. For the first time in years, Taeyoung felt it. Not control, not dominance, but recognition. He hadn't kidnapped prey. He had brought home a mirror. Taeyoung didn't move away after Jungkook's words. Instead, he let a slow, deliberate smile curve his lips. He ran a fingertip along the edge of the sofa, tracing an invisible line, and then looked back at Jungkook with those impossibly calm, piercing eyes. You want to know why I dress like this? He said, voice low, smooth, like silk wrapping around steel. Why I wear something that shows everything? Jungkook's eyes flickered, sharp, calculating. Why? Taeyoung's smile deepened, slow, teasing. Because baby doll, someone like you, someone who's innocent on the surface and psycho underneath, deserves a little temptation. He leaned back against the velvet sofa, letting his body move just enough to catch the light in the right places. Every muscle, every curve.
Nothing but the pale dust rising in the wind. One of the masked men leaned over. Follow us, he said, voice low, clipped. Jungkook simply nodded. He didn't run. Resistance here was meaningless. He knew that. Instead, he followed silently, footsteps soft, body alert. Ahead, the mansion loomed. Grand, imposing, almost alive in its perfection. Its architecture was a mix of modern elegance and old-world majesty, white walls gleaming, black iron gates curling like claws. As he approached, men in suits and maids in crisp uniforms moved around with machine-like efficiency. Each of them glanced at him, then quickly lowered their eyes. Fear, respect,
Or perhaps both. He wasn't sure, but the energy made him stop for a heartbeat. And then he saw him. A man seated at the top of the grand staircase, posture slim, almost delicate, too feminine for his sharp, masculine bone structure. His dress clung to his body perfectly, a satin sheen catching the dim light of the chandelier above. It was beautiful, mesmerizing even. But there was something more in the way he sat, the way his gaze seemed to pierce through Jungkook before he even spoke. The people around him, guards, maids, even the bustling aides, lowered their eyes, moving like shadows, as if acknowledging a predator among predators. Jungkook's steps slowed. His instincts screamed caution, curiosity, and something darker he couldn't quite name. Then came the voice. Deep, oceanic, smooth like velvet, but carrying the weight of a storm. Welcome home, innocent psycho baby. The words hit Jungkook like a physical force. He froze, every nerve alert. Shock, recognition, and a flicker of something unreadable passed across his face. He could feel the weight of those words pressing on him, not just spoken, but lived. The man's eyes, sharp, amused, terrifying, were on him. Every muscle in Jungkook's body tensed, but his expression remained carefully neutral, perfectly innocent. What do you mean home? Jungkook asked, voice low, controlled. every syllable measured, masking the storm beneath. The man's lips curved, slow, teasing. He leaned forward slightly, resting an elbow on his knee, one long-fingered hand dangling elegantly. "Oh, my little psycho, don't play dumb with me. You know exactly where you are. And more importantly," he paused, letting the silence stretch, "you know exactly who I am." Jungkook's gaze didn't waver. His lips quirked into the faintest ghost of a smile. "I think you might be mistaken. I'm just an innocent boy." A laugh, rich and dark, rolled out from the staircase, echoing against the marble. "Innocent? Ha! You amuse me, baby. So small, so calm, so deadly under the surface. You think you can hide that from me?" Jungkook's steps slowed to a halt. The mansion, the people, the entire energy. It was overwhelming, suffocating, yet he felt challenged. The man rose, slow, deliberate, every movement a study in grace and dominance. "Come closer," he said, voice soft, dangerous, teasing. "Let me see the little psycho I've been waiting for." Jungkook hesitated. Then, ever so carefully, he obeyed. Every step measured, eyes calm but mind racing, his heart keeping its secret pace. He didn't know what awaited him, but he knew this. He was exactly where he needed to be. And that man? He was far more dangerous than anyone Jungkook had ever met. The room was vast, almost empty, the kind of luxury that felt cold instead of welcoming. Marble floors echoed with every step, Juliers casting fractured light across the walls. Taeyoung lounged on a velvet sofa like he owned not just the mansion, but the people inside it. Jungkook stood opposite him, hands tucked into his pockets, posture relaxed. Too relaxed. "So," Taeyoung drawled, eyes dragging lazily over Jungkook. "College boy, killer by night, saint by day. Doesn't that get exhausting?" Jungkook scoffed softly. "You talk too much for someone who kidnapped an innocent person." "Innocent?" Taeyoung tilted his head, amused. "You really like that word." "I suit it," Jungkook replied lightly, lips curving. "People believe what they want to see." Taeyoung chuckled, standing now, heels clicking softly against the marble as he circled Jungkook like a bored predator. "And what do I see?" "A man overdressed and overconfident," Jungkook shot back. "Someone who thinks power is about fear." Taeyoung stopped in front of him. "Isn't it?" The air shifted, something snapped, quietly, invisibly. Jungkook's smile faded, slowly, deliberately. When he looked up again, the softness was gone. What replaced it was chilling. Empty eyes, sharp and knowing, lips curved not in innocence but cruelty. "What will you do, huh, baby doll?" Jungkook said softly. Too softly. "You think I don't know?" Taeyoung's eyes narrowed. Not in anger, but interest. Jungkook took a step closer, then another. Guards stiffened, no one moved. "Let me guess," Jungkook continued, voice smooth like a blade sliding from its sheath. "You're an egotistic little doll who loves making people dance on your fingers." A pause. By profession, a dealer. His gaze dragged over Taeyoung slowly, unapologetically. "That's true, isn't it?" Taeyoung didn't interrupt, didn't blink. Jungkook leaned in just enough for it to feel intimate, dangerous. "And I know why you took me." His lips curved again, dark, knowing. Not justice, not curiosity. He straightened, eyes cold. "You wanted to taste me." Silence slammed into the room. Taeyoung laughed, not loud, not amused. Low, deep, thrilled. "Oh," he murmured, stepping closer until there was barely an inch between them. "So the innocent boy finally died." Jungkook tilted his head, eyes glittering. "No, baby. He never existed." For the first time in years, Taeyoung felt it. Not control, not dominance, but recognition. He hadn't kidnapped prey. He had brought home a mirror. Taeyoung didn't move away after Jungkook's words. Instead, he let a slow, deliberate smile curve his lips. He ran a fingertip along the edge of the sofa, tracing an invisible line, and then looked back at Jungkook with those impossibly calm, piercing eyes. "You want to know why I dress like this?" he said, voice low, smooth, like silk wrapping around steel. "Why I wear something that shows everything?" Jungkook's eyes flickered, sharp, calculating. "Why?" Taeyoung's smile deepened, slow, teasing. "Because, baby doll, someone like you, someone who's innocent on the surface and psycho underneath, deserves a little temptation." He leaned back against the velvet sofa, letting his body move just enough to catch the light in the right places. Every muscle, every curve, deliberate. Every movement whispered confidence, danger, and something seductive. The guards and maids didn't dare glance at him. Their heads bowed as though looking up might summon fire. Not out of loyalty, not out of respect, but fear. Fear of what this man could do, what he would do, and how effortlessly he controlled everyone around him. You see them? Taeyoung gestured lazily toward the men and women scurrying around the mansion. They're not afraid because I'll punish them. They're afraid because they know what I could do, and I won't. Jungkook's lips curved into a faint, dark smile. So you seduce to play and terror to control. Classic. Classic? Taeyoung tilted his head, intrigued. I call it precision. Every look, every touch, every inch of this body, it's for you. Jungkook didn't flinch. He only leaned slightly closer, the faintest challenge in his tone. For me, huh? That's bold and foolish. Taeyoung's laugh was soft, dangerous. Bold? Perhaps. Foolish? Never. I dress like this, act like this, because you fascinate me, and I want you to notice. Jungkook's eyes narrowed, dark and gleaming, like a predator weighing its prey. Notice me? He said, voice almost a whisper. You don't know the half of it, baby. If you think I'm going to fall into your little game so easily, you're wrong. Taeyoung's smirk widened, slow and deliberate. Oh, I know exactly who you are, baby psycho. That's why I dress like this, to see that darkness behind the mask, to feel it, taste it, and maybe play with it. The air between them became thick, heavy, electric. The mansion no longer felt empty. It was a trap, a stage, and the two of them were the actors, predator and predator, playing a game only they could understand. Jungkook's lips twitched into a ghost of a smile. You should know, I don't play. I win. Taehyung's eyes glinted. Good, because I never lose either. Taeyoung moved first, but not toward Jungkook. He turned, unhurried, walking toward the tall glass window, the fabric of his dress whispering against his skin. The city lights far away reflected faintly, turning him into a silhouette of elegance and danger. You're staring, Taeyoung said calmly, not looking back. That doesn't suit an innocent boy. Jungkook scoffed. You're doing it on purpose. A soft laugh left Taeyoung's lips. Of course I am. He turned around then, slow, deliberate, eyes dragging over Jungkook openly, shamelessly. He stepped closer, closing the distance inch by inch, never touching. You don't get scared, Taeyoung murmured. You don't look away, you don't tremble. Most men do. I'm not most men, Jungkook replied coldly. Taeyoung hummed. I noticed? He circled Jungkook like he had done in the club, fingers brushing the air near Jungkook's arm, but never touching, teasing, testing. You know why everyone lowers their eyes? Taeyoung said softly, because they don't know which version of me they'll get. The merciful one, or the monster. Jungkook finally snapped his gaze to him, sharp, dark, unimpressed. And you think dressing like a... His lips curved cruelly. Slut makes you scarier? The word landed heavy. The room went still. Guards stiffened. Someone sucked in a breath. Taeyoung froze for half a second. Then, he laughed. Not angry, not offended, amused, deeply. A slut? Taeyoung repeated slowly, tasting the word. He stepped closer, too close now. I never knew an underground drug dealer like me could become a slut for a mere innocent psycho. Jungkook tilted his head, eyes gleaming. It's really interesting, I must say. He leaned in slightly, voice low. 10 years older than me, and still trying to seduce instead of intimidate. That did it. Something shifted in Taehyung's eyes, something dangerous, something pleased. His breath hitched ever so slightly before he masked it with a smile. You have no idea, Taehyung said quietly, how much I enjoy that mouth of yours. Jungkook smirked. Enjoy it while you can, baby doll. Taehyung's fingers curled at his side, not in anger, but restraint. Dominance. Challenge. Something twisted and electric. You're younger, Taehyung admitted softly, eyes darkening. But you don't look up at me. No, Jungkook replied flatly, I don't. For the first time, Taehyung felt it clearly, that strange pull. That unwanted thrill, being looked down on and God help him, he liked it. Don't forget to like and share the stories, and do comment. The doors closed behind them with a heavy final sound. Taehyung dismissed the guards with a single glance. No words. They bowed and vanished immediately, the room falling into a thick, suffocating silence. Only the low hum of the lights remained. The private room was darker, warmer. Velvet curtains, a single lamp casting shadows that clung to the walls. Taehyung stood near the center, back straight, expression calm. Too calm. Jungkook noticed it instantly. You send them away so easily, Jungkook said, voice lazy, amused. Almost like you don't need protection. Taehyung turned slowly. I don't. He stepped closer, one step, then another. You wanted privacy, Taehyung continued, voice smooth. I thought I'd be generous. Jungkook laughed softly, not sweet, not sane. Oh, baby doll, you wanted this more than I did. Taeyang stopped inches away, close enough to feel warmth, close enough to smell him. His eyes dropped, just for a second, to Jungkook's lips. That was the mistake. Inside, something snapped. 10 years older, used to control, used to fear. And yet, his breath caught. Why am I hesitating? He lifted a hand, slow, deliberate, fingers hovering near Jungkook's jaw. Not touching. Never touching. As if he was afraid that once he did, he'd lose something he couldn't reclaim. Careful, Taeyoung murmured. You don't know what you're provoking. Jungkook's smile widened, sharp and cruel. I do, he said softly. That's why I'm enjoying it. Taeyoung leaned in, almost instinctively. His lips hovered a breath away from Jungkook's. Almost. But he stopped, pulled back. Control, discipline, ego. The silence shattered with Jungkook's laughter, not loud, unhinged, delighted. Oh my god, Jungkook laughed, gleaming. You couldn't do it. Before Taeyoung could react, Jungkook stepped behind him, grabbed him hard by the back of the dress, fingers digging in, yanking him backward. The power shift was brutal. Jungkook leaned in, voice low, taunting at his ear. Look at you, he whispered. My pretty little dealer, freezing. Then Jungkook bit down on Taehyung's lower lip, not gentle, not kind, pulling him into a rough, claiming kiss. Teeth, heat, control. It was fast, messy, dominant. When Jungkook pulled back, Taehyung was breathing hard, eyes dark, unfocused for half a second before he masked it. Silence. Taehyung slowly turned around and smiled. Not playful, dangerous. So that's how you kiss, he said quietly, like you're declaring war. Jungkook wiped his mouth with his thumb, eyes shining. I told you, he said calmly. I don't play to lose. Inside, Taehyung admitted something he never had before. He hadn't brought home a toy. He hadn't captured prey. He had invited his own undoing. The room felt smaller suddenly, too warm, too quiet. They stood so close now that breathing felt shared. Taehyung's hand lifted, hesitant for the first time, fingers brushing Jungkook's wrist, not pulling him closer, just checking, asking. Jungkook's eyes flicked down to that touch. Now you're asking, baby? He murmured, amused. Taehyung met his gaze, something raw slipping through his composed mask. You asking you? That was all it took. Jungkook stepped in willingly this time, hands gripping Taehyung's clothes, not gentle, not careful, but not cruel either. That's when their lips met. The kiss wasn't soft at all, it's like a full of force but not chosen. Taehyung inhaled sharply, the sound betraying him more than words ever could. He kissed back like someone starved, slow at first, then deeper, while grabbing Jungkook towards himself, hands tightening as if afraid Jungkook might vanish. Jungkook smirk against his mouth, pleased. He liked this. How the powerful man trembled when touched, how control slipped with every breath. Taehyung let out a sound he hadn't meant to, fingers threading into Jungkook's hair instinctively, holding him closer, closer than dignity allowed. 10 years older and undone. I never thought that a mere psycho like you can make this much needy for his touch. Taehyung whispered, voice rough, broken by breath. Jungkook laughed softly, dark and delighted. Yeah, baby, he said. I know. They stayed like that, foreheads pressed together, breaths tangled, hands gripping like anchors, until the moment blurred into something private, something dangerous, something neither would name yet. Jungkook broke the silence first. Why do you want me this much? He asked quietly. Taehyung looked at him, surprised by the softness in his voice. Jungkook wasn't smirking, wasn't teasing. His eyes were distant, unfocused, as if staring at something far older than this room. It's not like I'm rich like you, Jungkook continued, a hollow laugh escaping him. I'm just a psycho who runs toward monsters. Monsters who ruin innocent lives. Taehyung didn't interrupt. For once, he didn't try to seduce, didn't try to dominate. His voice came out low, careful, almost gentle. Can I know, Taehyung asked, what those monsters did to you, that you keep wearing this innocent face like armor? Something in Jungkook snapped. Not loudly, not violently. His expression changed in an instant. The smile vanished. The darkness didn't replace it. Emptiness did. His eyes glassed over, filling with something unshed, something poisoned. His breathing turned uneven, but no sound came out. It was as if screams were trapped in his veins, running through him like a curse he could never purge. They ruined my sister. The words were flat, dead. Taehyung felt his chest tighten. They killed her, Jungkook continued, voice trembling now, finally cracking. They ruined her, before they killed her. His hands clenched into fists so tight his knuckles turned white. "We were just kids," he said, almost whispering. "We had nothing. No money. Just a small stall. That's all. We worked. We laughed. She used to smile so much." His breath hitched. One day, they came. Jungkook swallowed hard, eyes burning. "They took her," he said. "Right in front of me. Because we couldn't give them what they wanted. Because we were poor. Because we were easy." His voice dropped, shaking violently now. "They didn't just kill her, Taeyoung. They killed her innocence first." Silence swallowed the room. Jungkook laughed suddenly, broken, hollow, unhinged. "They were monsters," he said softly, "and we were just children with nothing, except a sister who caught their eyes." Taeyoung didn't realize he had moved until he was already in front of Jungkook. He didn't touch him, didn't speak. But for the first time, his fear wasn't of losing control. It was of understanding. Because now he knew. Jungkook wasn't a psycho because he enjoyed blood. He was a psycho because someone had taught him monsters only understand monsters. And for the first time in his life, Taeyoung didn't want to own him. He wanted to stand beside him. Taeyoung didn't speak immediately. For the first time since Jungkook had met him, there was no smirk on his lips. No teasing in his eyes, just a tightness in his jaw, a strange heaviness settling in his chest like something he didn't know how to carry. He had seen blood before. He had ordered deaths. He had ruined lives without blinking. But this was different. Jungkook stood there like a ghost, eyes unfocused, breath shallow, as if he had already said too much and now couldn't take it back. Taeyoung swallowed. Slowly, he reached out, not to grab, not to claim, but to touch Jungkook's wrist. Light, careful, as if afraid the boy might disappear. "You were a child," Taeyoung said quietly. Jungkook let out a humorless laugh. So was she. Silence stretched between them, thick and aching. "That's why I hunt them now," Jungkook continued, voice low, steady again, but hollow. "Monsters like them. Men who think money makes them gods. Who think innocence is something they can take and throw away." His eyes finally lifted to meet Taehyung's. "I don't kill for pleasure," Jungkook said. "I kill so no one else has to stand there helpless, watching someone they love break." Taehyung's fingers curled slightly around Jungkook's wrist before he realized what he was doing. For the first time, his control wasn't slipping because of desire. It was slipping because of rage and grief, and something dangerously close to guilt. "They deserved it," Taeyoung said, voice rough. "Every single one of them." Jungkook searched his face, as if trying to see whether he meant it. Taeyoung did. The room felt quieter now. Not tense, still. As if the world outside had paused to give them this moment. Jungkook exhaled slowly. His shoulders dropped just a little. "I keep this face," he said softly, touching his own cheek. "Because if I don't, I'll drown. And people don't see danger in innocence." Taeyoung stepped closer, not looming, not claiming, just present. "You shouldn't have had to become this," Taeyoung said, "but you did. And you survived." Jungkook's lips trembled for half a second before he forced a small smile. "Surviving doesn't make you clean." "No," Taeyoung replied, "but it makes you real." They stood there in silence, close enough to feel each other's breath. No dominance, no games, just two broken men standing in the aftermath of the truth. For the first time, Taeyoung didn't want to own Jungkook. He wanted to protect the child he never got to be. And Jungkook, who had never trusted anyone long enough to pause, didn't pull away. Power didn't disappear. Night settled over the mansion quietly. No guards nearby. No lights except a soft lamp near the window. Jungkook sat on the edge of the bed, elbows resting on his knees, staring at nothing. Taehyung stood by the window, arms crossed, watching the dark like it might blink first. Minutes passed. Neither spoke. It was the kind of silence that didn't demand filling. "You know," Taehyung said slowly, breaking the silence, "people like you don't usually survive long in my world." Jungkook didn't look up. "I didn't survive in theirs either." Taehyung's jaw tightened. He looked away for a moment, as if weighing something invisible, something heavy. When he spoke again, his voice was different, lower, stripped of polish. "They won't touch you again." Jungkook finally looked at him. "What?" "The monsters," Taehyung said. "The ones from your past. The ones who thought money made them untouchable." Don't forget to like and share the stories, and do comments. His eyes hardened, not with cruelty, but certainty. "I don't make promises," he continued, "but I'm making one now." Jungkook's expression shifted. Confusion first, then disbelief. If they're alive, Taeyoung said, stepping closer, they'll regret it. If they're dead, anyone who protects them will fall with them. That's not your burden, Jungkook said quietly. Taeyoung shook his head once. You don't get to decide that. Something dangerous lived in that sentence. Not possession, not dominance. Loyalty. You're not scared of me, Jungkook said suddenly. Taeyoung answered without turning. No. Most people are. They're afraid of what they see, Taeyoung said. I'm afraid of what was done to you. Jungkook's throat tightened. He hated that feeling. Softness. Taeyoung finally turned and sat, not too close, not far, on the other side of the bed. You don't have to be alone tonight, he said. No expectations, no games. Jungkook glanced at him. And tomorrow? Taeyoung's lips curved, not into a smile, but resolve. Tomorrow, he said, we hunt monsters together. After a few hours later, Jungkook stood by the window as dawn slowly crept into the sky, washing the darkness away in soft gray light. The city looked peaceful from here, clean, distant, innocent. A lie he knew too well. Taehyung stood beside him, not touching, not crowding, just present. You know, Jungkook said quietly, people call me a villain. Taehyung didn't respond immediately. He already knew where this was going. They say I enjoy it, Jungkook continued, that I was born wrong. His lips curved faintly, not bitter, not amused, just tired. But I remember who I was before, he said. I remember being a child who smiled, who believed adults were supposed to protect you. Taehyung clenched his jaw. The world didn't create me, Jungkook said softly. It broke me, over and over, until I learned how to bite back. He finally turned to Taehyung. I'm not a hero, Jungkook said, but I wasn't a villain either, not at the start. Taehyung met his gaze, steady, honest. Most villains aren't, he said quietly. They stood there together, watching the light grow stronger. This world loves labels, Jungkook said. Monster, psycho, criminal. He exhaled. It never asks why. Taehyung spoke then, voice firm but low, and that's its greatest crime. Silence settled again, but it wasn't heavy this time. Jungkook rested his forehead briefly against the glass. If someone had protected us, he whispered, none of this would exist. Taehyung didn't argue, because some truths don't need correction. The world would still call Jungkook a villain, but for once, someone had seen the child behind the blood-stained hands. And maybe that was the real ending. Final message of the story. Not every villain is born evil. Some are created when the world chooses cruelty over compassion. And sometimes, monsters are just survivors who were never saved. Hi, readers, I see nowadays you guys didn't watching and note been commenting. I guess I know the reason to, but voiceover-ism. Making my work is easy, being a girl with responsibility is not easy at all. But still, it make my time to write then it's then posts, but still you guys don't understand one thing. I'm expecting you guys reading it. Please kindly share your comments and tell me what next story you want. Or one-shot ideas. Okay, my dear readers, you meant world to never forget that. Okay, if you are not reading, just remember there is author in your life whom you met. Tanned. Sorry, forgot. I wish you as my brother give me gifts. And you can't take this a New Year gift. And Happy New Year. Enjoy it, family and friends.